to my channel, and if you are new here, hey, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. So for today's video, I really wanted to dig into some good drugstore products. So here lately, ever since I've started acquiring a bunch of makeup, I've really noticed myself going towards more high-end brands or brands that you can shop online. So for today's video, I really wanted to dig into my favorite drugstore products and do a full face of drugstore makeup. This is stuff you can get at Target, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, any place like that. And I really didn't want to use any products that you had to buy online. I really only wanted to use the products that you could go to a Walmart or a Target or a drugstore and get. So that's what today's video is. I'm going to be doing a full face, full glam beat with only drugstore products. So if you want to know what my favorite drugstore products are and you want to know how to get full glam on a budget, then make sure you just keep on watching. So first things first is brows. I have been really loving the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Soft Brown. It's just a really tiny pencil like this, kind of like a Benefit Precisely My Brow or an Anastasia Brow Wiz? Brow Definer. Brow Wiz. I don't know, one of those. It's really small. It really lets you get those hair-like strokes, and it's really, really affordable. I'll make sure to put the prices of everything I'm using on the screen, and then I will also link everything that I'm using down below so you guys can go and get it if you want. This brow product is literally so pigmented, and it really allows you to get that nice Instagram brow. A lot of times with drugstore brow products, you get something that's really waxy and really hard to work with. I haven't had that problem with this one. It's really creamy and it's really easy to blend, so it makes putting on eyebrows so much easier. So now that our eyebrows are done, it is time to move on to eyeshadow. So I'm using the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. This is just a cute little palette. I think it was like $4. And this is a total dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is a fraction of the price. So this is a really, really great buy. So I'm first gonna set the concealer on my eyes with this shade right here. And I'm just gonna blend that all over my eye. I'm now going to go in with this shade right here, and I'm going to use that on just a fluffy crease brush and just start, ooh, that is pigmented. Just start buffing this out in the crease. I forgot how pigmented these were, oh my gosh. So don't go in with as much as I did, because that was a lot. On a smaller, more dense brush, I'm just going to dip into this orange shade right here. I'm going to blend that in my crease. On that same brush, I'm just going to dip into this purple shade right here. Just gonna buff this right here in my outer corner and then just slowly blend it into the inner corner. Now I'm just gonna cut the crease to create a blank canvas for the shimmer I'm gonna put on my lid. To set that, I'm going to be using this color right here. To blend out that harsh edge, I'm just going to dip back into that purple. Just really buff that in. For lashes, I have the Kiss lashes in the style Gala. These are so good and they're so affordable. They're literally $5. These are probably my favorite drugstore lash. Y'all know the drill. I'm not good at putting on eyelashes, so I'm going to do that off camera and come back and we will finish the rest of the face. Okay, so lashes are on and it is time to move on to the rest of the face. So I'm going to start out with primer. I already moisturized off camera, that's not fun to watch. But for primer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Prime. This is the Blur and Smooth 100. This is just good for blurring out your pores and hydrating your skin because it's more like a lotion instead of like a silicone base. So it's actually really nice. It looks just like lotion, and I just place this right where my pores are the worst, which is right here in my T-zone. This is really good for smoothing out pores, but it's also really hydrating. It does kind of have like a chemical-y smell when you first put it on. I don't really know why. It's never broken me out or anything like that. And it really just fills in my pores and hydrates my skin, which is super important because my skin is super dry. For foundation, this is my holy grail drugstore foundation. This is such a good full coverage foundation. Like if you don't have this, this is the one thing you should absolutely go buy. It is so full coverage. It is so nice on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey. Such a good foundation. This is the Maybelline Superstay, and I'm in the shade 112 Natural Ivory. Literally 2 pumps that gets you your entire face pretty much. Such a great foundation. And I'm blending this out on a Real Techniques blending sponge. This is a really good affordable dupe for the Beauty Blender. Like, look at that coverage. This is such a good foundation. And I still have a bunch left on my hand. So this is a holy grail drugstore foundation. If you are balling on a budget but you want a foundation that's going to make you look like you have a high-end foundation on, definitely pick up the Maybelline Superstay. Best drugstore foundation I've ever found. For concealer, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. This is new. This just came out recently, so it's new to me. I've used it a couple of times and I really like it, so that's why I wanted to throw it in here. It's really full coverage and I haven't found it to be very creasy, so I wanted to throw this one in here because it's going to cover up all of your dark circles that you get when you don't sleep enough at night. I'm in the shade 325 Eggshell. Has a really big applicator, which is super nice. This blends out really easily and it gives really nice coverage, so I've really been liking it the past few days. For powder, I have the Maybelline Fit Me and I'm in the shade 05. This is their loose setting powder. This is so good. It doesn't leave your under eyes too dry and it really sets everything in place and doesn't let anything budge. And this is like $4. This is also really good at brightening up the under eye. I like to have a light under eye and this is really good at keeping it nice and bright. So the only thing that I didn't have that was completely like drugstore friendly, like Walmart, Target, stuff like that, was a setting spray. And so the only setting spray that I can recommend to you guys at an affordable price is the Morphe Prep-In Set. I promise this is the only one that's not like drugstore. You can get this at Ulta. It's really cheap and it's the best setting spray ever. There's no drugstore setting spray that I like more than this. So I will be using this to, you know, set my face and add some moisture and all that good stuff back into it. For bronzer, I love the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is so good. It smells like coconuts. It's such a good bronzer for my skin tone, and honestly, the smell is just what gets me every time. It's so, so good. This bronzer really allows me to carve out my cheeks, but also warm them up. That way I don't look so ghostly and pale. This is such a good affordable bronzer. That bronzer does smell super good, but it's not overpowering and it's not gonna sit on your face and you're not gonna smell it all day. It's just a nice little scent when you're putting it on. It's not too bad. For blush, my all-time favorite drugstore blush is the Flower Beauty in Peach Primrose. This is such a beautiful, like, flush, peachy color. Like, I'm pretty sure I wore this blush every day for a solid 2 months. It's so good. So for the lower lash line, I really just want to focus on the orange and the purple that we used in our crease. And I'm just going to blend those out on my lower lash line and smoke it out a little bit. And I'm just mixing those two colors together. For highlight, there is literally nothing that beats Wet n Wild highlights. This is beautiful. It's literally $4 and this is in the shade Precious Petals. These are so blinding and they're so affordable. This is more of a rose gold color. Like, look at that. That's beautiful. I'm also going to pop that in my inner corner and on my brow bone. For lower lash mascara, the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara is literally the best. And for the last and final step, it is lips. Maybelline by far has the best lip products in the drugstore. They're so good. So I'm going to be using the liquid lipstick. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Loyalist. This formula is so unique. Like, it's so... it comes out kind of sticky, but when it dries, it's not sticky at all, and it literally stays all day long. And it's such a good nude. I think the best part about this liquid lipstick is the applicator. It is a pointed applicator, so it makes it really easy to get precise lines without having to use a lip liner. To go over top of that, just to keep my lips hydrated, I'm doing the Maybelline Baddest Beige Cream Lipstick. So guys, that is it for this full face of drugstore makeup look. I actually really love how this turned out. It's been such a long time since I've played with only drugstore products. I just get into the hype of buying all of the new high-end stuff that I forget about all of the really affordable stuff that I've loved for so long. So I really hope that you guys found some products that you want to go out and try, or if you already have them, let me know. Comment down below. Let me know if you want to try any of the products that I mentioned today, or if you already have the products that I mentioned. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video. I do plan to incorporate more drugstore stuff in my videos from now on. I know that not everybody can afford all of the high-end stuff. I definitely can't go out and buy all the high-end stuff all the time. So I really hope that you guys were able to find some products that you definitely want to try out or that you already love. If you haven't already, make sure that you have hit the subscribe button down below and the little notification bell right beside it so you can be notified every time I upload content. It is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 3 times a week I'm coming at you with some new videos, so be prepared for some fresh, great new content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.